Alrighty, folks, I am super excited for this conversation. We had the initial conversation about 2 weeks ago with Dr. Jeff. We will go by Jeff from here on out, where we talked about taking on the 2025 challenge of just seeing how much healthier I could get. And my memory of our first conversation, Jeff, is you actually asked me to do a couple of things. You asked me to take part of 3 different tests. We'll talk about those in a minute. You asked me to get an Aura ring, which I have been wearing since that day. You asked me to have a Fitness Pal app, which I have downloaded that day and thankfully been tracking every meal. And the last thing I remember is you wanted me to get a journal for when we actually start doing things. So I just want to be very clear. I have done everything so far you have asked me to do. I'm a good student.
You're a good patient. Yeah, we like compliance. This is to achieve the biotransformative results.
Exactly.
To wow yourself, to set yourself up for some healthy longevity and wow others. You got to not just talk the talk, right? You got to walk the walk.
Yeah. We'll get into all of that. You can ask feedback on the Aura ring and all of that. But the one thing I didn't really ask up front, but I want the audience to be a part of is you really had me do 3 different tests. There was one significant blood draw. I think they took 6 or 7 vials. It was a urine test. Then there was I'll call it a prick test. I don't really, prick your finger, put some blood on that. And then you had me, I guess, scan my body or my structure. So let's educate people why we did this. Why were these important to baseline? What are they? Just so people can be a part of our journey.
Well, first and foremost is the blood test, right? These are basic. Most physicians would order blood tests on your annual exam, except, the world is so watered down in medical care, especially in America these days, that most people don't get enough tests. They get tests just that are so basic. By the time those tests are messed up, it's almost too late. You're already in a disease pattern. So we did some deeper tests. We look at inflammatory markers. We're going to look at those together today. And I'll show you what I'm thinking and why I'm thinking that, how we can leverage that information now and compare it at the end of your first year of your journey. Because we don't want to just do something here for a year. We want to do it and set some behaviors that continue to benefit you and you can build on. So
absolutely.
Sorry, I don't know why that's happening. We'll just get rid of that. The second piece is we want to make adjustments and biohack and fix some of those things. So we went a little deeper with the inflammatory markers and things like that. The second test, the prick of your finger, and you sent on a dried blood spot. And let's talk about that for people. Some blood tests, you need blood. They have to, vampire it out of you, take it, put it in a vial, and that vial is handled very specifically. It might go into a vial that has some anticoagulant in it and other things. But some tests, you can actually just give them a spot of dried blood, and they make these cute little cards. I have one here on my desk somewhere. And they send you a little prick. You prick your finger, ouch. You let it drip onto the card, and when you get it, tells you when you have enough. You let it dry, then you mail it in, essentially. And they can then dissolve that dried blood spot and get the information they need. You can't do that with every test. We like that because you can do it from the comfort of your home at your own pace. You can send it in, and they're actually not that expensive. So when we sent you for blood tests, to be upfront, the cash, if you wanted to just pay cash, it ended up being, what was your first go?
This is important, right? So we were going to go get this blood draw or this blood test, and not covered by insurance. I'm doing this out of pocket, and the first quote was 30.
It could have been some of them, but we would have thought it would have wasted hours and hours of time to get denied, and then Luigi would have to come and knock off the CEO. It'd be a whole thing. But
it wasn't worth the time for us. So what we did is I went there and had him just cash price it. It was $3,300.
Okay.
And I reached out to you and I said, I'm willing to do this, but that seems kind of exorbitant. Is there a better way? Yes. And thankfully you found a better way that was, a third that cost.
So let's talk about that. So what I did wasn't too difficult. I went online. I have the same online tools that you have, Google, what have you. and I found a lab that does anti-aging tests that had the vast majority of what I wanted for you anyway,
Right.
at a discount contracted rate. And that shows you the gap in full price medical care and contractual discounts. It's one of the widest contractual gaps and discounting gaps that you'll find in any industry.
Pretty
and
wild.
That's why a $50,000 hip replacement surgery is paid out at $12,372 by Medicare. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so always look for something in like this. So we found, and you went to the same lab, the same lab, freaking Quest, mill to draw your blood.
Yep.
And but somebody was smart enough to make a contract with Quest to do this panel.
Yep.
And I guess they
saved me $2,400. So I'm very appreciative of whoever did that. So shout out to whoever you are.
It took me like 10 minutes of my time. So that's all it was. So that was a significant discount. Anyway, you had those done.
Yep.
And then the blood spot test was a specific biological aging test that we talked about last time to some degree.
Yep.
And these are specific markers. This particular test is called glycanage because they look at glycinated antibodies in your bloodstream that are a look back as to the inflammatory stress in your body outside of your cells. There are others that look at markers inside the cells like telomere length and other longevity markers. As it turns out, these tests are studied to trend together, so you don't need to do all of them. I like the glycanage because I think the results are more, they're pliable. So we can make some changes in your lifestyle, which we're going to.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get hopefully a desired result. And that's the goal. So we can look at that. It's a good metric. And I don't have those results back yet. Those take a few weeks. Mm-hmm. We will look at your blood tests today.
Yep. And then lastly, talk about the one where I laid down flat and they scanned my body. What was the purpose of that one?
So we sent you for a body composition analysis by bone densitometry, not bone, but body densitometry. It's the same test for bone density that someone would get, and they did your bone density, but they can also do the density of your other tissues. And we're going to look at that, and you're going to be amazed / ashamed at the numbers. You're going to be
That's the point.
amazed at the numbers. So that is the point. And, and it wasn't a difficult test. Why don't you tell us about your experience there?
Yeah, no, that test was extremely easy. You literally, it's not like an MRI machine at all. It's not like claustrophobic. It's basically a scan that just slowly goes over your body from top to bottom. The only thing you had to do that was a little uncomfortable is you had to stay inside a rectangle, which whatever that rectangle for me, I had to keep my feet pointed in. They wanted me to do, which was, I had to hold that pose, pigeon toed, I'll call it, for like 5 or 6 minutes, which was uncomfortable. But yeah, it was a really easy test. It wasn't loud, right? It was easy.
So next time we're going to do this again at the end of the year. You're going to bring a rubber band.
Okay.
A big rubber band, and you're just going to rubber band your
yeah, exactly.
And then you can relax your muscles while you're in there. So this is a lot easier for cats. If you draw a rectangle on the floor, they'll just sit there. Yeah.
There you go. So that was actually, because again, the blood work to me is all a mystery, right? But that scan, you're right. I guess I was excited to see it because I know that I'm probably in the worst shape of my life right now, as far as fat, percentage and all of that. So I look forward to being appropriately embarrassed and trashed in the comments. But I ask you to come on the journey for 12 months and see what happens.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. You just got off a year of marathon training and running. When was the marathon?
Marathon was November 6th, and I haven't done anything since then except enjoy food and all of that stuff.
So today's December 10th is the recording date. So you've let yourself go for the last, month and a week. So, but this goes to show you what a marathon body is versus the body we're going to make.
Yeah. And it's really funny you bring that up because, again, before marathon training, so from about June, I didn't touch a weight. And I had been, doing barbells and squats and weights for, I don't know,
Yeah.
the better part of 12 years, 15, maybe
Right.
13 years. I haven't
Right.
touched one. So once I got to, like, you got to run 6 miles a day and all of that, I didn't want to injure myself. That was the big thing about weights, is I didn't want to crank a neck or
Right.
back that would.
And we're going to be cautious. We're going to do, I'll call it old guy strengthening. We're going to be very careful and do this properly. And it doesn't have to be that difficult.
No, I'm all for it. I didn't want one slip in the gym to take my dream of completing a marathon away. So, I'm not afraid of lifting barbells. I got an amazing gym in my house that I've spent a lot of money on. Okay. I'm willing to go back. You don't have to treat me with kid gloves. I just didn't want one whoops to take my dream of marathon away. So that's why they were put on the shelf.
Got you. And we will adjust as needed on all kinds of things. So in any event, the marathon body is probably not the body for longevity necessarily. No. It doesn't have enough muscle mass per se. It might have lower body fat percentage, but you were probably, even during the marathon, probably not the ideal body comp for a marathon runner anyway. So
correct. Yeah.
We will look at that. So you've been very good about we'll call it the pre-transformation homework. You're wearing an Oura ring and capturing data now for how long?
Since the day we talked first time. So I think it's been 2.5 weeks or something.
Good.
Yeah.
So I think you need at least 30 days or so to capture some good HRV data. Okay. What I would love to do is find a way to get access to your data so we can screen share it, or you screen share it. Mm-hmm. Do you have? I know there's an app on your phone. Do you have a browser login also?
I will look at that for next time. I do not know. I've only ever done it on my phone, so I don't know.
The alternative is, there is a way to plug your phone into your computer and share. There's an app where you can share what's on there, and so if there is no browser login, mm-hmm. we can get a little upgrade in our tech experience with this and do that. I've actually done it once with my iPhone and my Apple laptop. So, but I'm working here from a non-Apple laptop, so I don't know if there's a workaround, but there probably is. I don't want to make it too difficult, but
I think it's if I have to give you my login, we could do that too. I mean, there's nothing on there that I'm nervous about.
Okay. So let's talk about the two more things before we dig into the actual data. And number one is the journal. So you bought a notebook of some kind, and
I did. It's a 365-day 2025 notebook. Basically, every day is a page. And what I need from you, we talked about it, but for the audience, is like, what should I be putting in? Do I write down how many steps, or do I write how I feel? So get a little guidance there would be helpful.
We're going to write a lot, and we're going to write as much as you want to or don't want to, because I don't want to make this so burdensome that you hate it. But as you and I spoke a few days back when we encountered each other, I felt like I left you in a lurch, like just get a blank journal. So I have started to build a prototypical biohacking journal for people who want to record everything or nothing. Okay. And I'm putting that together. I will share some of that with you and audience members in exchange for some feedback on it.
Okay.
For a print on demand type of thing. And
sure.
And we can build it and improve it during the year and get it out. Things we want to track. So we'll build out, and maybe on our next visit, and I'm taking some notes here too. We will build out. We'll talk about tracking, what we're going to track in the first month.
Perfect.
For example,
I like it.
Tracking startup. So what pages, what you'll do, and how we do it, and and you can use spreadsheets. This doesn't have to be physical journal. It can be journaling.
Right.
And then the other thing is photos. We need to do some body comp photos. So you need to pick a place in your house, a wall or something with good lighting, and you need to have your spouse take some pictures of you, front, back, side, different poses. And we're going to do those same poses at maybe 6 months and 12 months.
Wearing
the same pair of shorts or whatever.
Yep.
So if you're willing to show us your
Yeah.
as if you're in the Bahamas at the pool, what you'd be wearing.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm with you.
And then and we will, we want some befores and afters that
I would hope so.
Okay.
I look forward to the transformation. So yes.
So in this next, it's 12/10. So in the next 21 days, 3 weeks, we're just collecting data, doing the metrics, getting all geared up, and getting ready to start. I think January 1st is our start date.
That's
and you
the
and
goal.
I have already talked about starting with a fast.
Yeah, I think you said a 3-day fast. Was that what we talked about?
I think we're going to start out big and bold with a 72-hour, 3-day fast.
Okay.
It's going to be water, and you can have black coffee in the morning so your brain works.
Yep.
And I told you I'm going to do it with you.
Nice.
But it doesn't necessarily. It's just that first week in January where we'll look at the calendar before the end of the day here and figure that out.
Perfect.
And people can join us on this fast. We're going to do a broadcast, a podcast, or one of these during that time, so we can support each other.
I like it. That's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Now let's dig into some data. I want to start with your body comp.
Okay.
Okay. Now, are you able to allow me to share my screen?
Absolutely. So there should be a little present button down there. You click on that, and then it'll pull up a window, and you should be able to make a choice. Do you see that?
Okay. I see it, and I'm working on it now. It's got, here we go. Sharing now. All right. Please tell me if that is part of our broadcast now. Okay, I see
there it is.
Yep. Excellent. All right, now we're sharing personal information with your permission, but this is Michael Zuber's body composition test by bone density and other body density. So it's densitometry is the word. And they start out by showing us a picture of your bones, right? This is your skeleton, and then your body mass, and you can see. They've drawn some stick figures, and you can see your body mass has some bulgy areas on it.
Yep.
And when you look at your bone mineral density, so the first part is bone mineral density. You are this black dot is you as an average is up here in the green, and green is good here.
Okay.
But what they did is they age discriminated you. And I'm going to liken this to something that drives me nuts in my practice. When I see a woman in her 50s who comes in and says, I've been having all these issues, these problems, and I went to my doctor, and doctor said, that's fine, honey. You're just going through menopause. So it's just, you're fine. You just go through it. You should be, you're older now. It's the change. I think you need to rage against that. And if you look down here, this shows your bone mineral density of different areas of your body, your head being the thickest. So if anyone's ever told you you're very thick-headed, thick-skulled, it's accurate. So
yeah, it's true. Okay, I like it.
And when your wife sees this, she'll be like, oh, that explains a lot.
Exactly.
And they compared an age-matched, which is a nice way of saying the old guy comparison score. Yeah. Your total is 1.3, but a young adult would be 2.1. Well, we're here to push you from this number towards this number. So this is, you're just getting older. Even though you're in the green, you're in the green for your age.
Right.
I want you way up here off the chart. There's a different chart they would show us for a younger person. Okay?
Got it.
You're in the green for a 52.3-year-old man.
Got it.
Not good enough. If you want to be healthy and live long, your bone mineral density correlates with longevity. Okay. That's not news. That's studied. I'm going to try to bring it up for you while we're talking about it. This is scholarly articles on this. Bone mineral density is a marker for longevity. The better your bone density, the longer you will live, excluding all other variables.
Got it. Okay.
So you can see in women when they go through menopause, if they are not on proper hormone replacement therapy, for the ladies listening in, they will lose precipitously bone density. And that's why women are at higher risk, men can get it too, for yellow here, which is osteopenia, and orange and red, which is osteoporosis. Osteopenia is like pre-osteoporosis. It's really you're losing bone density. But doc's like, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
now, silly question from a non-doctor. Can we do things to move me that direction? It sounds like it. Like my bones get more dense.
Yeah. The recipe for cooking bone is 3 things.
Okay.
Number 1, proper hormone maintenance, which we're going to talk about in you.
Yep.
And number 2, vitamin D3, which we'll talk about. And number 3 is weight-bearing exercise.
Got it.
So cycling will not do it.
Got it.
All right. So what they did here on page 2 is they showed us those results again, and more details on the score. But we've gone over that. That doesn't add anything more.
Okay.
They went through each part, and these are for trends. So if we repeat this test, it'll show us the graph of how you're doing for each body part.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Now, body composition. They've broken it down: arms, legs, trunk, sort of the male shape and the female shape, and the total. And you can see here that you sit in the for body fat percentage, you sit in the 99th percentile. So if there was a prize given out to people who have more fat than they need, you'd be in that group getting a prize.
Yes. So that's not good. You're saying that's bad?
I am. So this is going to be a fun measure at the end of the year, and the pictures will show this too that you take.
Yeah.
But you can see that your total mass and fat measured by this machine is 216.3 pounds. How does that measure with your weight?
It's very close to. I think my weight's like 220, 218, somewhere in there.
Okay, so they've calculated your body mass in pounds, and this is pretty close to your weight. So you can see the calculations right on there. Now they can break it down into fat and lean. Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to use this total lean body mass to figure out how much protein you need to start with to maintain and grow muscle. But you've got 72 pounds of fat on you, which as a percentage is 34.4%.
Woohoo! Not good.
Nah, we need to have some goals here, and I would love to get that down to 20 by the end of the year.
Okay.
And then continue to work on it. But I think
now if we were, I mean, I don't want you to be kind, right? Is 18? I mean, obviously any number is lower, but what's reasonable for a year if we really went at this?
Oh, I can listen. I can. Between what we're going to do, I expect we're going to get to 20 without a problem.
Okay. All right.
We'll start talking about the strategy shortly. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
So they went down by percentage. If you look at your left side and your right side, you can see they pretty match up. 23.8 left arm, 23.5% body fat in the right arm, or tissue percent fat in the right arm. Left leg is 28.9, right leg is 29. So you're pretty symmetric. Trunk on the left is 42.3. Trunk on the right is 42.2. Those are probably within a standard deviation.
Yeah.
Left total 34.9, right total 33.9. So it's off by 1%, but
yeah,
I'm not worried about it. Arms are 23.6%. Legs are 29%. Your legs include your butt, so you carry more fat there. They should always be a little more than your arms anyway, but we'll work. All of these will go down. Okay. Your trunk is carrying a lot of it, right? You have 52-year-old male disease, so it's just on your trunk. And your total is 34.4. They've got some ratios here. We're not going to play with those. They don't help us necessarily, but they look, when you look at body styles, not styles, but
Mhm.
You know, the word morphological, your shape, you know, like people with diabetes tend to have more central obesity, more fat around their midline, their middle, not their midline, their middle,
Mhm.
and different type, you know, we want to see fat distributed out.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
So, and they did some more things here. So again, you're in the 99 percentile for fat. And we got to get that down. And if you look at the percentiles, 25% is the 50th percentile, which they're telling you for your age is average. I want to push you down towards 20.
Got
I
it.
want you to be, you know, but listen, Michael, I know you're a 1%er. You want to get down here. I don't know that we're going to get there. I don't know that we want to, because it's hard to maintain that engine, but, it may, you know, it can start to affect your immune system and stuff, but this is where we're going with
And again, this is part of the transformation. This is why it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be inspiring. I'm sharing these numbers, which for lots of people would be embarrassing. I don't really care.
Right.
I'm trying to be a healthier guy and inspire other people to take care of their health. So
Perfect.
I like it.
Okay, so I'm making a note here that we reviewed body comp.
Yep.
Um,
And we have our first goal, sub 20. At least I've heard the first goal.
First goal is total body fat percentage is sub 20%, and bone density. I want to get you, let me take another look at that study. We have you currently, score was 1.39. And the, you know, young adult would be 2.1. So I would love to see like a third better. So that gap is 0.8. So a third of 0.8 is 0.225. Is that right?
Yeah, 2.4, but yeah.
Okay, 2.4. So we add 0.24 to 0.39. We got 1.63. So our goal for your bone density.
I like it. 1.63.
Or bone density is 1.63 total body. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got it. Okay. Okay, next. Labs.
Yep.
So and this is the second thing, and then we'll go into some plan.
Okay? Yes. No, I like it. I mean, yeah, we're doing these labs so people can, you know, see the start.
Okay, let me bring these up. There are 4 different pages.
Yeah, I think there's 9 pages, front and back.
Oh, sorry. I have 4 different documents.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, there are more pages. So, okay, let me share those.
Yep.
Okay. So looking at things here, and these are in no particular order.
Yeah, I was wondering that if there was an order. I didn't think there was.
No, not to. They come back in the order they're done.
Ah, got it.
And I'm not showing them in any particular order. They're just how they come up on the page here. So your thyroid panel here is great. So we looked at your thyroid hormone, which is kind of one of the master, you know, metabolic drivers in your body. Mm-hmm. And you're right down the middle of the lane here. Your car is not beeping at you that you're driving across the line on either side.
Okay.
Although your TSH is in the lower half, there's nothing here that worries me that we're going to mess with. As we change your body composition and as we talk about testosterone, we may see this improve anyway. So I'm not going to mess with this. This is good.
Okay. The
next set of labs is your comprehensive metabolic panel, which is basically a very common way of looking at some blood tests. So your glucose, and this is a fasting. You didn't eat anything that morning, right?
Correct.
So your glucose is 94, and that's really good. I'm not worried about that at all. So you have good insulin sensitivity, most likely. You know, this is a good indicator. We'll look at some more indicators. HbA1c we'll get to in a minute, for example. Your blood urea nitrogen is 20, so that's fine. That means your kidneys are clearing out excess nitrogen. Your creatinine is 0.95, which is fine. That's another measure of kidney function, and they can calculate the glomerular filtration rate, and that's fine as well. That means your kidneys are functioning well. We're not worried about any impending renal failure, renal being a word for kidneys. Okay. And then your salts and things look okay. And again, these are generally okay in most people.
Okay.
And what happens is you get women mostly who say, oh, I have osteoporosis or osteopenia, and my doctor told me to take some calcium. That's largely ridiculous because, as you can see, calcium in most people is typically normal. Here it is normal.
Right.
Most people are not calcium deficient. The recipe for making bone does not include additional calcium.
Got it. Okay.
Again, includes hormones, weight-bearing exercise, and vitamin D3. Okay? Your protein is 7. That's fine. That's, again, probably more of a kidney function overall and general health measure. Albumin is a specific protein in your body. That's fine. The same thing. Globulin, another. Looking at antibodies, you have, across the board, the right amount of antibody proteins in your body. There are some ratios you can look. Bilirubin is a liver indicator. It tells us how you're processing blood breakdown, and because blood cells break down and the heme molecule gets broken down into bilirubin. And you can see sometimes little infants are born and they're jaundiced. They're jaundiced because they don't yet have the ability to process all that bilirubin. So you're processing it perfectly. It's down to 0.4. Otherwise, you'd look jaundiced. Okay. Alkaline phosphatase. Now we're looking at some liver enzymes, AST, ALT. So we look at liver problems. These would be out of whack. If you consume too much alcohol, these would be out of whack. They are not out of whack. They are in whack.
Okay. I like it.
Hemoglobin A1C is a look back, probably measured in months, maybe 3 to 6 months, of how you've been handling sugar in your body. And you are 5.6, which is fine. Up to 5.7 is considered normal. Yeah, okay. I'd like to see that go down a little bit. As we lose some body fat and increase your muscle mass, it'll probably go down a little bit.
Okay.
But they call 5.7 to 6.4 pre-diabetes. So you're not there, but you're knocking on the door.
I'm close. Yeah, that's got to go away.
But 5.6 is actually, that's a common number. So
okay,
people sit
all right.
There. And then you look at a few other things. So you don't have gout, but uric acid goes up in gout patients. The target for gout patients is less than 6. As we work generally to reduce inflammatory burden in your body, that should, not be it should be a lesser problem. It's not a problem for you at all, but even in a gout patient, we can drive those down, help them reduce flare-ups.
Okay.
Some additional thyroid numbers I reprinted here. This is another liver enzyme, another liver enzyme. Then we get into the CBC, complete blood count. CBC. If you've ever heard that CBC, it's complete blood count. Or if you're watching some medical show on on TV, get a CBC. So your white count is 6.3. That's perfect, right down the middle of the alley. Red blood cell count is 4.7. The difference. White blood cell have to do with the immune system. Red blood cells have to do with carrying oxygen. Hemoglobin is the protein in your red blood cells. So usually these track together, and your protein is 14, and hematocrit is usually 3 times. It should be about 3 times your hemoglobin. Hematocrit is the percentage of red blood cells in a vial of blood.
Okay.
These are perfect. Okay. So I'm not worried about you. This is, if these were low, we call that anemia. All right.
Okay.
MCV, MCH, MCHC have to do with the size and volume of your blood cells, and certain vitamins drive those the wrong direction. Yours are fine. Usually B vitamins. Same with RDW. Platelets are a different kind of cell that have to do with clotting and other factors, and yours are fine, 277. And then they can do the absolute counts. So instead of just the total white blood cell count, white blood cells come in different varieties. Neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and basophils. Yours are all perfect.
Okay.
And then they can look at the percentage as well. So the absolute counts and the percentages. So if you had a bacterial infection, your neutrophils might go up. If you had a viral infection, your lymphocytes might go up. Things like that.
Okay.
Different thing up. Parasites, your eosinophils go up. Things like that.
Okay.
Just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, no.
And then your urinalysis, your UA. Okay, your urinalysis. Cheapest test in the lab. Yours was kind of perfect. So everything is good there. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Iron and total iron binding capacity. The only thing here is where your percent saturation was a little low, but your numbers were okay. We're going to probably be increasing the amount of protein you take in. Some of that's going to happen by red meat, and that's probably going to change and improve. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Your B vitamin is 327, which is on the lower end of the normal scale. We are going to talk about some supplements today to be ready for.
Yep.
On January 1st.
Okay.
And then we're going to improve that number.
I like it.
Same with folate. Your folate is low. That's a B vitamin. And we may even decide if we can't get those up in 3 months, we may look at one of the genes that helps process B vitamins that can be popular. But we'll start with simple supplementation. It's a lot cheaper to do that than add a bunch of tests. Okay.
Like it. Okay.
Your cortisol, your stress hormone, is 13.1, and that is for a morning collection.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Most humans are a little higher because everyone's so freaking stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Zuber does not look stressed.
No, I'm not stressed.
FSH and LH are hormones affected by the testosterone pathway in your body, and they are fine. They may change as we modify some things.
Okay.
Your progesterone is fine. For a male, we want it low. Your estradiol, yes, men do have some estrogen in them. This is fine for a man, estradiol. As we supplement testosterone, it pushes some over into the estradiol arena, and this will go up, and it's okay.
Okay.
PSA. Yep. Now, before we supplement, things, we want to make sure your prostate's okay. And from a PSA perspective, prostate-specific antigen, you're 0.38, which is beautiful. We're not worried that you have anything funky going on in your male gland. Okay?
Yep.
All right, where's the next one?
Next one I have is vitamin A.
Hold on, I have to open a different...
Gotcha.
The way these came to me was maybe different. No, actually, you gave them to me. So let's see. What's this one? Different scroll bar. I've got too many windows within windows. I apologize.
That's all right.
Here we are. That's a repeat. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this, I think what happens is when they added more results, it just added to the paperwork.
Yeah.
So can we just go off this one? The vitamin D is the next one.
Sure.
This is vitamin D25 hydroxy, also known as vitamin D3.
Mm-hmm.
People think they can just go out in the sun and get this. They are wrong. You can convert vitamin D2 to vitamin D3 and get some. But vitamin D3, I want this over 100.
Okay, so this is really low.
It is. This reference range is for adequate amounts, so you're not malnourished. We're going to look for optimal nourishment. We're going to add a vitamin D3 to your regimen.
Okay.
So we want to get this up. This 24 is extremely low. The vitamin D3 is an anti-inflammatory vitamin. It's the only vitamin that's a hormone. It is incredibly anti-inflammatory, and it is a higher number is correlated with reduced mortality of all cause, any cause, heart attack.
Okay.
Sir, whatever.
We want a big number there.
Everyone should be looking at this and be aware of it and supplement as needed. Okay.
I like it.
Okay. So see, when I got this one, things were still pending on this version. Let me go to the next document. Sorry.
Yeah, the last document I sent you was the complete one.
Okay, so that's 12.4. So that's this one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the complete version.
Okay, sorry. So we already did this stuff. So vitamin A. There we are. Vitamin. So this is the one you were working off of. I'm so sorry. So 53. It's fine. I don't supplement a lot of vitamin A. A healthier diet full of carrots and things will help with that. We could push it a little bit. A good multivitamin, which we'll add for you, will have some vitamin A in it, so we're fine there. We talked about vitamin D.
Yep.
All right, cholesterol. Now you got worried about this.
Well, it's got a bunch of red on it, man.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go on statins. What the heck?
Absolutely freaking not. You're not going on statins. We're not going to harm you here. But the red here is someone else's opinion. Right. In about 40 years ago, the normal cholesterol was up to 240. So that would be green 40 years ago.
Right.
Why is it red now? So pharmaceutical companies can sell more statins.
Exactly. Yeah.
Plus, it's controversial. We believe that you need cholesterol for your cell membranes and things, keep them flexible and things. It's a molecule we build hormones from as well. Cholesterol is not the cause of coronary artery plaques. It's just correlated to. It doesn't mean it's the problem.
Okay.
Just because if there's a car crash, you see a bunch of police cars around it, you don't necessarily blame the police cars for causing it.
Right.
So this is something we're not sure is strong. So we will modify your diet and lifestyle and lipids and things. And I think what we'll do is, since we're going to talk during the fast, we'll talk diet then. Okay. Since you're not eating during the fast, it gives us a chance to plan a diet for you.
Awesome. Good idea.
So between some supplements and some dietary changes, this may improve a little, but I'm not worried about it at all. Now, we do want some of these ratios to improve. And they will. Like, your triglycerides are great. Like, that means your circulating fat is in your bloodstream is okay. And your HDL is green. So really, I'm not concerned about this. We will look to modify it strategically by just some lifestyle changes. Okay. And we will look at this. This is more of an early metric of where we are. So your LDL is high. But again, I think we're going to improve that with the kind of fats we're going to move to.
Okay.
And we want to watch this. And this apolipoprotein B is correlated with problems. Yours is 124. We want it down, below 90.
Okay.
We will talk about that more. We're not going to cover that today. That's a big topic. And then here's the Quest version of that page.
Got it. Okay.
So I think that was everything. The only test we couldn't get that I wanted was an omega-3 index. And that all-in test that saved you $2,400 didn't have it. And I didn't research where we can get one. And we will try to find that. So the next time we do tests, maybe in 3 months. Oh, this is another one we got to talk about too. We skipped some.
Yeah, we didn't talk about testosterone.
Let's talk about that. So testosterone is 441, which is, doctors will say, look, it's right in the middle of the pathway. It's not in the middle. It's towards the lower end. You're fine, honey. You're fine. Just go home with your testosterone. This is fine for a 53-year-old guy, but you don't want to feel 53 and act 53. We want to drive this up.
Right.
That's your total. Your free is 91.3, which is actually pretty good. But we can push that up a little bit. So we're going to talk about that today. And then your C-reactive protein. This is a measure of inflammation that they use to correlate to cardiovascular risk. So you're pretty good, but I want to get it down to 1 or less.
Okay.
Your homocysteine is high, another measure of inflammation and associated with coronary artery disease, and can be related to vitamin deficiencies. So we're gonna fix that. That says it's high. We want to get that down less than 11.
Okay.
Those were the missing tests.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions on those so far?
No, I just this is the baseline. I love the fact that we have some targets. A lot of what I heard you say, I was doing okay, but there's a couple of things that we need to change that are really early warning signs. So I like this. This is perfect.
Yeah. So we still need the omega-3 index, and we'll do that, in partially in progress. And then we need to talk about, so today, okay, so let's talk about if there are no questions or other things to bring up this time, let's talk about a to-do list between now and our next meeting.
Okay, I like it.
Okay. So I would like to get you on a testosterone regimen.
Okay.
The different ways to do that would be injections, creams, or now they have some oral ones, which I will be completely honest with, I don't know much about yet. However, in 2 days, I'm taking an update course at our national meeting, which is here in Las Vegas, and I hope to learn some more about it. So,
Okay.
So I normally start people with the cream because it's easy. You can adjust the dose easily. You do it daily. You wake up, you take a shower, dry off, and then either get dressed and just I sneak some on my shoulder blade. Then you got to wash your hands and dry with a paper towel. You don't want to use a kitchen towel because what happens if someone else uses it and they start to get testosterone, your pets get testosterone, you can cause problems. You want to make sure that no one else touches it. And then you do that daily. And then we see how you feel, what your energy is like, what your drive is like, what your recovery is like. We can do that. So that's probably what we'll do. And offline, we'll talk about how to get that.
Okay.
The other thing I want to start, and we're going to start this January 1st. So we want to get it all teed up for you.
Correct. Right.
The other thing is I'm going to recommend for you to help jumpstart your body comp is a GLP-1, a low dose GLP-1 agonist. So people know this as semaglutide or Ozempic.
Mm-hmm.
We do some of that here in the office, and I can get you some. I don't know if you're coming back into town. You told me, but I forgot. But
we can work on that. Yep.
Okay. So I have some I can get you, and then that's not expensive. It's like $100 a week ish. So we can take care of that. I'll show you how to do it. We'll talk about how to do it. We'll start you on a low dose. You may not lose weight because of it at the low dose, but we're going to start to drive down the inflammatory markers. That alone can drive up your testosterone a little bit. This is really for body comp. We're gonna push that dose up over the months, and we're gonna drop some weight.
I like it.
And some fat percentage while we're building muscle. So that's today. We're gonna order some supplements. Let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not necessarily start them. You can, but so we're going to start you on some basic ones. We're going to add to them during the year. Okay. Otherwise, it's too much. So these are my 5 starter things plus a multivitamin. So a high quality multivitamin for you, is something I want you to take. I use, I think it's from Orthomolecular is the brand. And I have access to something called FullScript, and I think send you a link or kind of prescribes it. It's not a prescription, but it prescribes it for you. And I order mine there. You can order yours there.
Sounds good.
I'll hook you up in FullScript. And then I also, the first of the 5 anti-inflammatory supplements are probiotics. I also use the Orthomolecular probiotic. Okay. And I can assign that to you in FullScript. Perfect. The third thing is we are going to get you on some omega-3 supplementation. And this is going to help improve your fat numbers and all that, and your cholesterols, and drive down inflammation, and is associated with longevity. So we're going to find a high quality fish oil for you. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I take a small fish oil pill. So here's my daily pack. We're going to work you up to this. Okay. And the little one right there, that one you can see through, I have 2 of those in there. I take a small one because the big ones are so darn hard to swallow.
Yeah, I think Olivia has the 2 little ones. But okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start you on those. You're gonna take 2 of those 3 times a day for starters.
2 of those 3 times a day. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's gonna be so the ones I have are just over 1,000 milligrams. Okay. When you take 2 of them. Right. So 1,000 milligrams 3 times a day, you're going to be at least on 3,000 a day. Okay. And we may push it from there. Okay. All right. So put 3 grams per day. It may say on the bottle, I think the ones I get are actually 1,440 milligrams of fish oils, DHAs and EHAs and things like that.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. Anti-inflammatory number 3 is at nighttime. You're going to do 2 things. You're going to take a melatonin to improve your restorative sleep. And this is all starting January 1st. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I don't mind if you start some of these ahead of time, but I wanted you to get good HRV data first. So don't start the melatonin yet. Okay. You can do a 3 or a 5 milligram, see where you are with that. And I'm up to 12 milligrams. Wow. And I don't have trouble falling asleep, right? It's not to go to sleep. Most people think, oh yeah, use it to help you get to sleep. Yeah, it might, but it's going to help you sleep deeper, and your cells do reparative things during the dark phase, meaning the nighttime. This will help your cells get to that point. It's the opposite of cortisol. This is the hibernation hormone that we don't make anymore after puberty, really. Okay. And then at nighttime, you're also going to take magnesium. Usually we like a 3 different form magnesium. I call it Trimag or whatever. And I'll find one for you on FullScript.
Okay, perfect.
Kind of the one I take. And then the only one I'm missing here is, we got probiotics, omega-3s, magnesium, melatonin. I am missing.
Was there something for vitamin B or something that I was deficient?
That's going to be in the multivitamin to start.
Okay.
And the my starter pack here, forgive me, I'm blanking for the moment. Give me 1 second. It'll come to me. I take so many that it's lost in the shuffle here. But for anti-inflammatory purposes, probiotics, omega-3. I'll get back to you on that. I'll figure it out.
That's okay. There's one more that we'll put in the notes.
There's one more, and it serves it's vitamin D3. There you go. Now, I take a vitamin D3 that has K2, vitamin K2 with it. They enhance each other. So I'll find one for you on FullScript. I take 10,000 international units a day. Most vitamins are measured by milligrams. This one's measured by international units. Don't ask me why. So when I tell people to take 10,000, it's usually 2 pills a day, because 5,000 is a typical dose. But we want to push this. This is your longevity vitamin right here. Okay. So we're going to start with those things. So in summary, after we get off this recording, I'm going to set you up with to have GLP-1s by 1st of January, testosterone. I'll order whatever supplements and things you need. You're going to take some photos. We're going to schedule our next visit during a fast.
Yep.
What did I miss?
You're going to be working on the journal, right? The framework. We're going to.
Yes. What we're going to do, and we'll talk about that next time. For next visit, we're going to do we'll call journal startup. During our fast, we're going to talk about diet. We're going to review your photos. And
then I'd love to hear. This could be next time. Like, what would you like for a preferred workout schedule?
Yeah, we're going to do that too. I will do that. I will tell you what kind of workouts we're looking for, and what kind of things we're going to do. Now, let's talk about the fast. Looking at my notes from last time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we're good. Okay. Yeah. So because you're tracking data. We may look at some next time. We may look at some initial data.
Okay.
Initial data review from your ring.
Sounds good.
So you and I hopefully will figure out a way to share that with everyone before next time.
Yeah. Worst case, I'll just give you my login. You can log in from your phone.
That's fine too. Yeah. And then we're going to look at glycanage results hopefully by next time as well.
Right. The prick test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what did we miss? What do we need to cover at this point? Did you get the macro tracking app, MyFitnessPal?
Yeah, I got everything you told me to. Yep.
Okay. And are you doing any pre-transformation tracking?
I've been very good about putting all my food in. That's
Okay, good. Okay, so you're tracking. So we will look at not only your Aura Ring results, we will look at MyFitnessPal.
Mhm.
And I forgot, I think they have a browser login that we can do that. So we can share screen.
Sounds good.
BioHacking journal. We need the photos. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about scheduling our fast.
Yeah. So did you want to start it on the 1st or?
Let's look at the calendar because it's got to meet. So it's socially with our lives and our, family. And
the 1st may be a bad day to start, but probably the 2nd
Correct.
would be better.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll do January 2nd. Yep. I like to start a fast if you're game at about 4:30 p.m. So you have an early dinner.
Okay.
Okay. And then the hardest day is going to be Friday, the 3rd. Why don't we schedule to commiserate with each other Friday in the afternoon when we're really grumbling tummies and all that, which goes away by the next day. But
yeah,
how's that sound?
Perfect.
Okay.
Friday afternoon. So again, so what you're saying is our last meal is 4:30 on the 2nd, or is 4:30 on the 1st?
Well, we could do either actually. If we're going to do our last meal on the 1st, we should do our recording session on the 2nd. I'm cool with that. Do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So
okay.
Last meal is 4:30 on the 1st.
So yeah, so you're done eating by 5. So 5 p.m. is the start time.
Yep.
So let's record on the 2nd in the afternoon.
Done. Thursday the 2nd.
I know that's not usually your best recording time, but I think it'd be.
But for this, yeah, we will make an exception.
Okay, let's pick. How do you feel about 2 p.m. on the 2nd?
Should work. Yeah.
Okay. And then, so I block that out. Nice. And then I'm going to put on my calendar when I can eat again. So I have a target.
So that will be.
Yeah, let's calculate it.
That'll be the 4th at 5 p.m. Do I have that right?
Correct. Saturday night.
Woohoo! I like it. Perfect.
Okay, got that on counter. So perfect. I normally do when I do fast, I usually do a Sunday night start, but since this is January 1st, it'll work perfectly for us.
Nice.
Weekends are hard to do for me because I'm not as occupied. I'm so busy during the day at work.
Yeah. You're really only skipping one meal. Yeah.
So just for those people who are joining us in the fast, this is a water as much as you like. You can take, if you need to take a pill or a vitamin, you can do that. You can have black coffee in the morning with no sweetener, no creamer, no nothing. It's just black coffee, which again is a xenobiotic, meaning it's a foreign thing to your body. So you can have a little response, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be enough to really affect the caloric. Now you're going to feel crappy at that 24-hour mark. It's called hitting the wall. And as a marathon runner, you know what that means.
Yep.
And when I had a stint in marathon running, years ago, that was before they had those caloric gel packs and things that the first one was from Power Bar had it. Power, now everyone's got it, but and I remember my first marathon, LA Marathon, probably 1993 or 4. I hit the wall and I thought I was going to die. Like you feel like nauseated, you feel sick. We want to hit the wall. That means we're going into keto. You've burned through all your sugar, then you've burned through all your glycogen, which is like a kind of a little bit of a sugar reserve in your muscles and liver. And then you go into fat burning mode. And we're gonna leverage that fat burning mode into maybe some ketotic diet for the first month, keto carnivore diet in the first month or more.
I like it.
And to help reduce inflammation and things. And if you really want to test things out, do something cognitively demanding. Maybe we'll find an online cognitive test. And I'll find something. We'll have you do it before you fast, and I'll have you do it at the end of the fast, and you'll see your brain is on fire.
I like it.
Brain loves ketones. Yeah,
I like it. Okay. All right. Well, this is so much fun. I appreciate you doing this with me, helping the audience. Again, if somebody wanted to, follow you or learn more about you, where do we send them?
Check us out at Recelebrate. RECELLEBRATE. You can go recelebrate.com or at Recelebrate on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, or whatever.
Yeah, it is right there for you, folks. Recelebrate.com. Give him a follow. And again, folks, he will be at our Vegas event. He is one of our speakers. So if you've watched this and you have questions or concerns, you could leave them in the comments, but he'll also be at our Vegas event. Thank you so much.
Thank you.